One night, I had gone and seen a friend over on the coast. My partner was at home and I was driving his car. To get home from where I was, I would take a few main roads to make my way to the motorway. Once I got there, I started on the motorway and was cruising along, blasting my music as I normally would. Doing this while I was driving would make me feel good, and it would make the drive more enjoyable. When I got to my exit, I realised the car was low on fuel. Why the hell didn't I fill up when I was back on the coast? But then I remembered there was 2 service stations across the road from each other coming up in the next 5 minutes. Unfortunately, when I got to the servos, they were both closed. Well, the one on the right definitely was. I looked at the servo on the left and it looked closed, but it was open. Maybe they were just about to close. Half the lights were out, but I did see someone inside, and the Bowsers were still lit up. So I pulled in and I filled up. It was really quiet at this location. It was in the mountain range, splitting the coast from the Hunter Valley. So I was in kind of dense bushland and mountainous area, and obviously, being at night time, the place gave off an eerie vibe. It was about 9:30 at night at this point, so there weren't many cars around either, if any at all. I finished putting the fuel in, and as I went in to pay for the fuel, I hear a loud scream coming from across the road, near the other servo. It wasn't a continuous scream, it lasted for 3 seconds if that, and then it abruptly stopped. I looked in the direction of where it came from, but obviously being across the road and in the dark, I didn't see anything. What the hell was that? I thought. It almost sounded like someone was yelling help, but it sounded more like a scream. I thought that was freaky, and I quickly went inside the service station to pay, when there was an older guy with a beard waiting for me behind the counter. As I walked up to the counter and got my money out to pay, the man was just staring at me. He didn't look at the register or my money. He was just staring at my face continuously, with his arms crossed, like as if I had done the world's worst thing, or that I had a nerve stopping in and getting fuel. I felt really awkward. He made things really awkward. I put the cash on the counter and said thanks, and started walking back out, when the man behind the counter finally spoke. "You're lucky, I was just about to close. Watch yourself out there, it's a full moon tonight, you know." I looked back at him, trying not to give full eye contact, and he was still standing there with his arms crossed. But he had this creepy smile on his face now, like he was silently chuckling to himself. I said, "Cheers for that," and I walked out and quickly got back in the car. Then I heard that scream again. I thought, nah, I'm out of here. As I was climbing the mountain, I noticed headlights quickly approaching me from behind. There were overtaking lanes, but the car didn't overtake me. It stayed really close behind me. What the hell was this person doing? As I got up to the top of the hill, I started to speed up, and then I started coming back down the other side of the mountain. The headlights stuck to my tail, so I kept driving. I didn't know what this person was doing or who it was, but I was starting to get really anxious. The lights started to slow down, and then the car pulled over. I kept driving and felt relief that they weren't following me now. I had drove another 10 minutes up the road when that same car's headlights were speeding up to catch back up to me again. This time, the car overtook me, beeping their horn, and kept going. My mind and heart were racing again. I knew the game this person in the car was playing wasn't over yet. I had reached the first outer suburb of the valley, which had another road I could take to lose this car. The car was in front of me, still in view, and as it turned a bend to keep driving towards the main part of town, I took another turn and quickly sped off in a slightly different direction. I was now in farmland kind of area, and I thought I had lost the car, but I was dead wrong. It was following me again, as I could see the car's headlights quickly approaching me again. I was almost home now, but how was I going to lose this car or make them stop following me? I drove straight to the police station, which made the car slowly drive past me. To my amazement, I managed to get the rego number of the car, but I still couldn't see the driver as the windows were tinted. I went into the police station and told them what had happened, gave them the registration number and asked for a follow-up on the incident. I then went home and told my partner everything. He actually didn't know what to say. 2 days later, I got a call from the police for a follow-up on the incident from the other night. Apparently, they were pleased that I had come forward with the incident because it led to the police uncovering a kidnapping of a guy slightly younger than me. Apparently, the old man from the servo had the young guy tied up and bound in the back of his car, parked across the road behind the other service station. My blood ran cold when I was informed of this. Was I going to be the next victim of this old guy? The more I thought about it, the more it seemed like the case. Every time I drive past those 2 service stations, I get the coldest chill down my spine, and my hairs stand up on end. I'm just glad I was smarter than this old guy, otherwise this story would have ended a lot differently.